Last time on Dice Funk.
Which is Lenora, Desmond, and Frank Westerly will go in as jobbers. You guys are a tag team who are supposed to lose in the first round to make other people look good. Just get your asses beat, and go back to the locker room, and then start sneaking around throughout King Coliseum and try to find out where they're keeping the belt. And hopefully, Katarina, you can find a way to wrestle so good you can convince Diego Rivera to book you as the winner.
My investigation was a botch. I got 1 + 5.
I crit.
All right, so you don't take the pill for now, but you have it.
This is like the one time that as the player, I'm super excited when you crit because them doing well is more beneficial to me in the long term.
Yeah, actually, because this wrestling is going so well, why don't you make another performance roll with advantage, try to get the crowd pumped up? Because she jumps off Spore, flies through the air, and starts kicking you while she's in the air, and you get a chance.
Yes! I crit.
The chances of Chris/Katarina convincing Diego to change the script to win, you're gonna need at least 1 crit. That is absolutely crucial.
So Lenora's gonna go ahead and assume that's it. So I guess I'll head back and try to find Frank.
Inspector William Graves
No.
slams you into the wall
Right.
and puts the gun to your head and says, I'm gonna ask you questions, and every time you lie to me, I'm going to pull the trigger.
There's that whole stick again. I'm here for a legitimate reason.
Graves pulls the trigger.
If anyone tells me they have a pet ferret, I instantly assume at some point in their life they wanted to be a magician.
They're extremely motivated cats, right? Because cats love to like sit around and like stare out the window or whatever. Like ferrets are like all the time on their grind trying to steal your shit.
That's what Anna is, but with food.
Yeah, this is what my cat is with food, Smudge. She will just...
Smudge.
Her entire day is who in the house has food. Can I sneak and get to it?
Extremely relatable.
Smudge is such a good name.
I love Smudge. She's curled up on my lap right now and she is lovely.
Aw.
A special guest podcaster today, Smudge the cat. I guess we should start with Frank getting his face shot. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's address that character that I have fallen so in love with getting shot in the face, huh? Lovely DM that's not gonna kill off my character for no reason, please.
I mean, I've said before, Dungeons & Dragons is many things, but one of the things it is a game about trust. You guys trust me to give you interesting scenarios, and I trust you to act in good faith inside of them.
I'm aware of this whole setup, but like part of me was thinking like, maybe what Austin's thinking is I'm going to play as Veltari the Bozog from now on, and in that case, my trust would have been well placed, No,
the bullet goes through Frank's head, through the wall, into the ring, and kills Veltari as well.
No!
Rude.
I'm just not very good at DMing, guys. That's what's up. No.
Can I make the pinfall really quick then?
Christ. Obviously, I'm not taking away Laura's character without any meaningful input from her. That would be bad. I mean, bad storytelling, bad DMing, and just like bad personing.
Bad personing, indeed. That's the worst part.
Just abhorrent humaning in general. But stuff is happening. So let's zoom into the scene. Imagine, if you will, in your mind's eye, you are the camera in this scene. You see Frank Westerly pushed up against the wall, his huge popped collar being held by the White Dragonborn, Inspector William Graves, who has that cool snout scar where Lenora snapped it with her elbow. He looks just... it's like a quiet fury, right? He's angry, but he hasn't lost control. He has this huge, oversized revolver. It's way bigger than necessary.
So you say he's not lost control. He did pull the trigger.
He did, and we're about to find out why. Because he puts the gun to Frank's head, does his whole Russian roulette spiel. You say that you're here for a legitimate purpose, and he pulls the trigger. All of us now, in our mind's eye, are the camera. We fly down into the barrel of the gun. we see that it is loaded. This isn't like a cop out where like, lol, he was just playing JK. There is a bullet in the chamber. The hammer comes down, hits the bullet, but instead of exploding out of the barrel and going through Frank's head in a shower of bone fragments and brains, the bullet ignites and becomes a thing of pure magic. The metal casing melts away and becomes red and green and blue energy as it flies down the barrel of the gun, exits it, hits Frank in the face. The magic washes over him, and instead of his brains splattering out, magic is what erupts from Frank's head and splashes all over the wall and air around him. And what has happened is Graves has cast a spell on Frank.
Oh, do I know what has been cast?
You know immediately, because Graves is not smart enough to cast wizard spells. He hasn't made a deal like a warlock. He wasn't born with any powers like a sorcerer. He just goes to the store and buys spells and spell accessories. This particular bullet was detect thoughts.
Oh, now before we do anything else, I've just had a sudden thought. Do we still have the bullet that we took out of his gun the first time we met him?
Katarina did take the bullet.
Yeah, Katarina would have it.
Ooh, we might have a spell bullet. We might have a legitimate bullet. It's probably not worth firing at someone willy-nilly, but...
Hey, come here. Hey, Ed, come here. I want to test something.
This might read your thoughts, or it might destroy your thoughts. One or the other, but you know.
Now, there's been a great meme in the listeners with Graves popping out of everywhere and shooting people's head or pointing guns at people's heads. I love that because it is his basically first and best strategy, because it's an interrogation technique. He makes you think you're about to die, makes you think about what you're doing, and then casts Detect Thoughts on you, which is a D&D spell, which reveals what you're thinking about. And so, as Frank's surface thoughts explode out of his head, much like his brains would have if it was a real bullet, you see painted in a magical thought bubble above your head the belt that you're here to steal. You see Diego Rivera in the announcer booth. You see Beatrice Beauregard sitting at her desk with her feet up on the bear. He has now detected your thoughts, and he knows what you're up to.
Sorry, guys.
We can take him.
The magical thought balloon, I guess, is basically what just happened, dissipates above your head, and Graves just smiles a toothy grin at you.
Am I still being, like, held up against the wall at this point? Was that what was happening last episode?
Yeah, he grabbed you by the collar and pushed you against the wall for effect, made it basically feel like an execution. He had to sell it.
Okay, as soon as I'm aware that, like, he knows that we're coming for the belt, I'm gonna try and cast Suggestion.
Okay.
Okay, so I can suggest a course of activity. It's got to be, like, one sentence or two, and it has to be something reasonable, and I can try and influence a creature in range to do this thing that I've told them to do. Is Graves immune to being charmed? Is Graves immune to being charmed?
Nope, he doesn't have any charm immunity.
Okay, so you've got to make a wisdom saving throw.
You might be surprised to learn this. He is not the wisest cop.
Good for him. Turns out he is a wise cop after all.
Graves has a +1 on wisdom, but got a crit. 21. That does save.
What is the card you use? Like, I imagine he has you up against the wall. He, uses a spell on you using technology. He has this gun, and then you just like poke him in the face with the card.
I poke him in the face with change of will, where it's like one person who's like walking to go and stab someone, and someone's behind them on the card, like, no, that's bad.
All right, so he just like blinks at you. He knows you just tried to do magic, but he's not impressed.
Where am I?
Yeah, okay, yes, exactly. Lenora, you found the door marked employees only, guarded by 2 lizard folk that you're pretty sure the belt is behind. You ran back to get Frank, who went in the other direction, somewhere deep in the bowels of King Coliseum, which is in South Valentine. I'm not sure if that was clear. You're running around, and you turn a corner, and you see Frank poking Graves in the face with a card. And Graves has a gun.
Drop him, you lint licker.
Excuse me?
You know that old Orbit commercial?
No.
I'll send it to you later. Everyone else knows.
Are you rolling Intimidate, or are we just gonna roll initiative here?
I'm gonna try intimidation before I get shot.
Also, Frank, he's right up in your grill, so you can see there are other bullets in that gun.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 9.
No, what did you say? Can you repeat that just for Jesus to hear this time?
Drop him, you lint licker.
Okay, he does not drop it, and he does not lick any lint. We're gonna roll initiative, because that's a fight scene in that hallway now.
Okay. Great. Right.
Yeah, so why don't you guys take a nice think about some combat stuff you want to do. We're gonna cut back to the wrestling ring now.
Okay.
I mean, listen, be honest with yourselves. In your heart of hearts, both of you are pretty excited to beat the shit out of Graves, I think.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
excited. He shot me in the face with a bullet. I think that I have permission to kick his ass.
With mind bullets, okay? That's what it was.
Mind bullets.
It may have been a mind bullet, but he put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger. I'm gonna kick his ass.
All right, we have initiative rolls that are live in the chat right now. Looks like Lenora crit, so you go first, and then Frank has 13, and then Graves has 8. So you were so not intimidating that he didn't even hustle to fight you, I guess.
Good.
All right, back in the ring. Veltari the Third was wrestling so good, she crit, and the crowd went wild, but then Katarina Krakenbane also crit in response, powerbombing her foe out of the air, such that the crowd everyone's dead. The excitement was too much. It's a chain reaction. You have killed everyone inside the Coliseum.
Damn.
How do you feel?
Well, I'm gonna have to go on the run because I'm wanted for mass suicide or mass murder now. But otherwise pretty good. I mean, this is the pop that you want from the audience. Normally you want them to make noise and not die, but
Real talk, this performance was kind of a crit fishing expedition. I was trying to get to a point where you could do something so awesome that we could justify you selling the booker on a change of ending, and I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon, but you came out of the gate very strong, and I'm very excited for the conversation after this match. But let's finish the match. It ended with you slamming the bad guys. The Others is the name of this team. This is the Others versus Sea Shanty. It is the Others' turn, so I'm going to have Veltari and Spore. If you remember, I in my mind, Spore is not a myconid like in the Monster Manual, where he kind of basically looks like the clickers from The Last of Us. It's much more like the big cute like round mushroom people in Dark Souls who just punch you in half. Are you guys familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with that one, but there's other monster mushroom people from other series I'm familiar with.
Yeah, my point is he's cuter than you're probably picturing, and I want to share that with the world.
Oh, I think he's adorable.
Yeah, he's great. But so you just power bombed Veltari out of the air, and on the mat she's like, "Damn, Cat, that was good."
I know, right?
And the crowd is going wild, and she like stumbles away from you, holding her back and being like, "Oh no, God, no, please!
I'll never kick again."
Oh no! And so Spore runs up to try to buy Veltari time to recover from selling that injury, and is going to attack Katarina. Let me see my stats here. 20.
That hits or doesn't hit, as the reverse way goes.
Yes, the Spore pulls off the move. Actually, it's basically like a flying drop kick. It hits Katarina to knock her away, which gives Veltari time to recover. And Veltari starts trying to fire up the crowd even more. She turns and she says, "What time is it?" And the audience goes, "Kick time!" "What time is it?" "Kick time!" And you see someone in the audience has a sign, and it's a clock, but all the numbers have been replaced with kick. And everyone's like, "Yeah, do the kicks, Veltari." It says that's her turn, is she's like psyching up the crowd for like the best kick she can do. So it's your turn, Renee. Eddie, you are noise machine in this wrestling match. How are you?
Part of me was debating jumping off the ropes and doing a flying kick at Veltari, but that just seems a bit too disrespectful.
The newcomer is going to try to kick the kick master.
Yeah, that'd be very disrespectful to do. So I'm not sure that's what he should do this time. I'm thinking instead what he will try to do is try to get Spore off of Cat by doing basically a jumping leg grapple takedown. So he like sort of jumps up, tries to lace his legs around Spore's torso and pull him down to the ground to, basically, so this Katarina and Valtari one-on-one. So let's see here. Ooh, a miss on that one there. I rolled an 8.
Oops. All right, so deal damage as you accidentally overextend Spore's back, hurting him for reals as you slam him to the mat.
9, so it's a pretty hard hit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you guys were in this for real, you would be pretty proud of that roll.
Yeah, basically what happens is that he doesn't lace his legs properly, ends up just kicking him over.
So Spore hits the ground, and there's a puff of spores that you inhale, and you can hear the wrestler's like actual inner monologue now, because that's how they communicate. And he's like, "What the hell, man?"
Sorry about that. Was trying to pull a bit above my weight class there.
All right, so you guys are doing that. Katarina, all eyes on you.
All right, so when I'm envisioning the greatest kick in the world, I'm envisioning she's doing what Shawn Michaels does when he's drumming up the band for his kick, which is just like stomping on the ground, kind of like preparing like for his opponent to get up so that they can just hit him with this crazy hard kick. So I want Katarina to get up and basically charge at Valtari and just try to dodge the kick in midair, or not in midair, but mid dash, and try to like knock her down. So I don't know if you need me to roll some sort of avoidance for that, or just go right to the attack and we go from there.
Yeah, you're right. It's the wrestling move you're rolling for, so all of it is included.
22.
Hell yes, not a crit, but yes, above 20. So you successfully you dash at her. She goes to run at you to do your ultimate kick, and you dodge around it, and then you slam her. What are you doing?
All right, I want to do it like this. So she goes for the kick, and Kat's gonna duck underneath it and get behind her a couple feet. And when Valtari turns around, that's when the tendrils are already out in effect. And I'm setting her up for the Kraken's Grasp, the ultimate finisher.
Oh, damn.
And I'm going to knee her in the face.
Not a knee. That's just like a special kind of kick.
It is, but hey, she may be the master of kicks, but I have conquered the Kraken, okay? So
Hoisted by my own kicks. All right, so you knee Valtari in the face and you execute it perfectly, and she goes sprawling to the mat. And once again, she's very impressed. You're basically kicking her ass, but you're doing it in a perfectly safe fashion, which she appreciates because her body is very unusual for wrestlers. So she probably gets hurt a lot by people who don't know how to wrestle a bozog. So I just want to point that out, that it's very much appreciated that you're rolling very high for this person.
I mean, I can go for the pinfall then. I don't know how we end it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to draw this out. You actually have already accomplished your goal, which is to get the crowd on your side enough to have leverage with Diego. So Noise Machine pins Spore, and Katarina pins Valtari the third, and you guys are victorious. This is probably the best response you may have ever gotten in ring before. Katarina, the crowd is absolutely eating it up. This is a very good win. 2 crits, just chef kiss. Very good match. So as you guys are leaving, a reporter is going to run up to Ed, and she's like, Noise Machine, how do you feel about your first match?
I think this match is important because when people look at guys like me, they think that I'm just washed up, scrapped up, cast aside, not useful for anything anymore. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell all of you up there what. I'm not going to be kept down. I'm not going to be kept to the side. I'm not going to be kept quiet. I'm going to rise up, and I'm going to make some noise and show you all what I'm made of.
This is great.
Is there any? Do you want me to see how persuasive that is for the audience, or otherwise, or
Yeah, if you want to make any kind of charismatic role, we can do that.
14?
A strong debut for Noise Machine. I was also imagining a universe in where you botched this all up and the crowd turned on you, and then we would have had to figure out how that works with Katarina being very good, but we have avoided that. So Katarina, you exit the ring, and it really the big storyline they're putting on the stream is really about the newcomer. But you get like a minute there to chime in, and then you see that Diego is available if you want to talk to him now. This is your big shot. This is what it's all been leading to, is this conversation. So I hope you're ready.
Yeah, sure. I'm totally ready. 100%. How do I knock on a door again?
One of my favorite questions in Dice Funk history, up there with "Can wet things smell?" which I remember sometimes, and it's transformative. So you walk over to Diego's announcer booth. There's like a keypad for the door. You beep beep boop, and the door opens. You see him. He mutes his mic. He turns to you and says, "Damn, that's some good shit out there, Katarina. Do you see any stream numbers?"
No, I'm not seeing any stream numbers, but I'm hearing out there everybody is still chanting "Sail on." They're loving us out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a new hashtag. I feel like you've overshadowed the one that we had prepared. The marketing team worked really hard on it, but Wrestle Good has not been taking off the way we thought it was.
Hey, maybe it's just one of those times you call an audible. You just move to something better, right?
Yeah, you just can't be afraid of change and thinking on the fly and improvising. You just gotta be open to like the possibilities of the universe.
Yeah, Diego, look, man, like let's be honest about this. The crowd out there, they're loving us right now. We're the hottest thing right now. Why don't we send the crowd home happy?
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yes.
All right, so part of me wants to hear you pitch a new storyline to Diego, and part of me wants you to roll. All of me wants both of these things because they're potentially very good. So I think we're going to do both. Diego wants to know what is your actual narrative suggestion for how to make that satisfying.
Okay, so who were we supposed to lose to?
Coming up, your next match is against a team called Kill Club.
Kill Club. Okay, and
they're just real huge evil bruisers, and they were going to hurt your new debut partner. It's going to be very tragic. And then at the end, they were going to be defeated by the Desert Dragons, hometown favorites, everyone's favorite hardworking lizard boys.
Okay, so what I'm going to pitch is I'm going to say we swap those two out there, have the dragons go down to the to Kill Switch Engage or whatever their names were. I just forgot.
Damn, I should have called them Kill Switch Engage.
Kill Switch and Rage,
Oh fuck, that's good too.
Change it to that and have the storyline be that Kill Switch or whatever their names are. They cheat and attack them early to basically put the dragons in a big hole, and they basically overcome them by cheating. And the dragons can come out in the final match when they're trying to do that same kind of tactic against us. So it gets the crowds pop for the hometown boys, and we get some measure of revenge on them. Turns Kill Switch into bigger villains, turns us into big heroes to get the crowd home happy, and the dragons get a big heroic moment.
Damn, that's a really good suggestion. Why don't you roll persuasion with advantage to sell this new storyline?
Okay.
So this is why Chris is the one that was proposing this storyline.
I got 10 twice.
10 is not going to cut it. So full disclosure, to make this meaningful, it has to be very difficult because the story hinges on someone changing their mind, and I have that power as DM, and I can just do that at any time, right? So I can't just give you something that I can give you for free.
If Diego's still like, she's going to say, okay, how about Kill Switch starts the match off and they put me through like a table spot, or essentially like whatever the in-universe equivalent of a really big, dangerous kind of spot early on to make it look like somebody's just out of the match for good, kind of thing. And it's one that's very damaging to the body. It's very risky, but it's, when properly executed, it's very exciting for the crowd and everybody loves it. Basically, she's almost kind of mortgaging her own physical well-being for the sake of trying to get this storyline angle through.
Yeah, so I'll meet you halfway because you failed the difficulty check, but you have a good alternative. So let's compromise here. Diego is willing to let you basically put your body on the line to win this thing. He also has an inborn bias against the Desert Dragons because he doesn't think that these lizards should get preferential treatment. It should be about good wrestling and good marketing, good PR, gonna get in your face out there. So here's his counter proposal. The tournament has a surprise ending, a 3-way blood match between Kill Club, Desert Dragons, and Sea Shanty. Now, a blood match is a special thing in this league where people fight for real.
Oh, it's like the Brawl for All tournament.
Because this is a universe of magic, even if someone breaks your ever-loving neck in the middle of the ring, a cleric on standby can save your life. So really, it's not a huge permanent risk. It's something that, it's controversial, like, concussions are in the NFL. People are like, there's a lot of headlines like, blood match go too far, ?
Oh, yeah. This is like hurling yourself off the Hell in a Cells over and over again. People are like, oh my God, are we just watching someone kill themselves at this point?
But the thing is, the crowd loves it, and also Kill Club loves it because, as you're gonna find out, they are kind of, you'll see, their personalities are such that behind the scenes they're pushing for this as well. They've been trying to pitch this to Diego in their own time, so this gets everybody on board. And also, what the Desert Dragons are going to want in return is something that they can work with later. So if they're going to lose this to you, you need to give them something in the ring that they can come back from triumphantly.
So they want some kind of narrative hook.
Yeah, so maybe like you give them something they can work with next tournament. You know, next pay-per-view, they need to be like, they're coming back for it. Maybe they'll probably take it from you, right? They're going to win next time. But
Yeah. You could frame it as, since this has been thrust into a triple threat match, the Double Dragons would never lose in a one-on-one encounter, which they'll get next time with Sea Shanty or whatever, and there they'll come out ahead. But this was a case where, you know, on this night with all the situations as it was, we were the team that just managed to scratch and claw out ahead just barely in such a brutal match.
yeah, oh, that's a good one too, because that's the whole thing in wrestling is that like, oh, you didn't win clean, right? If you 1v1 me, bro, like if it weren't for the
Yes.
other guys, yeah, I like that a lot, and that means they get to save face, and so people can't walk around and just saying that like the Lizards lost straight up. This is a very good compromise. You gonna shake on this?
Yes.
All right, so that's the last shot of the scene is the handshake.
So how is this gonna work for Ed, since you know he doesn't have like blood per se?
It's a metaphor.
I know.
Oil match. No, that just sounds weird. That makes it sound like a
Oil man.
That sounds like that's for season like what 13, right? That's a season 13.
That sounds like something they do when they change your oil.
I was gonna say it's like that Street Fighter character.
It's a dating website for different types of oil match.
Oil is basically the blood of robots.
My brain just went in a completely different direction. Back in the hallway, you guys are fighting a cop.
Yeah, we are.
You come around the corner, there's a guy with a gun pointed at your friend. What do you do?
Bad ideas. I'm going to try to cast Mind Spike.
That sounds ouchy.
Let me just read you the description. I reach into the mind of one creature I can see within range. He makes a wisdom saving throw, so do that.
Thanks.
And then on a failed save, I spike his mind.
Oh no, I rolled an 8. My mind is spiked.
So it's gonna be 3d8 psychic damage. Only 5 damage. That's not that bad.
Oh yeah, on a scale of 3 to 24, you only did 5 damage. So
Right. But another fun thing is I can also, until the spell ends, I know his location always, as long as we're on the same plane of existence.
And how long is that for?
An hour.
Nice.
that's really cool. So you come around the corner, you start, you have do you have your MP3 player like in a running holster thing on your arm? Like
It is now.
I saw a really good fan art that had that. I need to find the artist to shout that out.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, but you like reach up and you poke the mind spike track, and he recoils, grabbing his head. He is in pain, but he is not debilitated. And if he tries to run away to sabotage the plan, you will know where he is, which is good because he definitely wants to kick the shit out of both of you. But his actual mission is to stop this heist. That is his job. So that is like his priority. But he can't escape now, effectively at least. So Frank, it's your turn.
Frank is going to whip out the bell tolls, and he's just gonna shout. He's just gonna shout at Graves. You may have held a gun to my head, but now the bell tolls for thee. Wisdom saving throw.
Everyone's attacking his wisdom. Is this a comment on the sapience of our police officers, our men in uniform? 19. He saves.
He saves. Well, that's fine. Oh well.
I also checked. Scott Saxton made that art of Lenora with the iPod holster.
I'll find that later.
It's too late. It's already in the chat.
It's in the chat. It's too late now. Oh, God.
It's too late. It's in the chat.
That is some heckin' cool art.
The text is coming from inside the chat.
See, considering you have a +1 on wisdom, Graves, how are you being so good at wisdom when I need you to suck?
Probability. Wait, no, that's
Math is weird.
It's police instincts.
Grave just hates me that much.
He does. He's gonna shoot you now.
Okay.
Pew 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 pew. 24.
24 hits my AC, yep.
6 damage. Wow, he only wings you, huh?
Okay, yeah. Well, I am a wizard, so I don't have a huge amount of health, so...
One thing you notice, so he turns the gun on you, right, after you try to use the Toll the Dead, rotates to the next bullet, he pulls the trigger, and a real-ass bullet comes out. He definitely shoots you, and it wings you. The thing to note is that it doesn't make the sound you think it's going to make. It's not a loud gunshot in a small hallway. Guns are, in our universe, incredibly, unthinkably loud in that kind of situation. Here, the spell silence exists, so it is trivially easy to silence your weapon if you want to do, like, I don't know, a stealth sabotage mission. So actually, it doesn't make a telltale gunshot noise. Something to note in this small hallway with 2 guards just down the road a piece. But yeah, he wings you, and it is Lenora's turn again. Lenora, your friend's gonna get got.
I'm gonna, like, do something to keep myself from getting got on my next turn, so don't worry.
Graves says to you, Frank, like, I couldn't just kill you just because I hate your smelly face, and I couldn't arrest you just because you guys are a bunch of scumbags. But now we're in the game. This is a mission. This is, well, in Shadowrun would we call it a run.
This is real life, man.
Yeah, this is a live ammo situation now. So all I had to do was confirm that you were interfering with Luna's business, and you know I can kill you now, right?
Oh, see, this is a misunderstanding on my part. I thought the whole deal was you couldn't mess with us full stop. So, do over, start from the beginning.
Gonna get a mulligan.
Yeah, mulligan.
The thing is, he can't just kick in your door and kill you to prevent you taking part in the game. But once the game is afoot,
I would have acted differently had I known this.
Okay. What? Can you imagine the campaign where all the villains aren't allowed to touch you?
Well, you know, I thought you just had to be more elegant with your subterfuge, not just shoot me with a bullet.
I silenced the gun. What more subterfuge do you want?
I don't know. Not shooting me.
Really, his main concern now is he just can't bring too much attention, because if the other police arrive, or if, like, it makes the news or something, it could affect Crown Corporation stocks if there's a big scandal. So he actually does have to kind of be a little subtle, is that he has to kill you quietly.
All right, fuck it. I'm attack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna try Toll the Dead.
19.
What the fuck?
Yeah, everyone's coming at my wisdom. What's up?
Yeah, you keep getting, like, 18, 19, 20, 21 with a +1 somehow.
That's insane.
It's the gun. It makes him feel very wise.
He had Wheaties this morning.
That's the risk you run when you use cantrips, is that on miss they do nothing.
Yeah. So is it Frank's turn?
Sure is.
He's gonna use a new spell. He's gonna cast in D&D, this is Mirror Image. In the flavor of the card, it's gonna be Dodgy Dave's Hall of Mirrors. and just picture as when this card is activated, you've just got, like, a really, like, sketchy looking carny having a smoke next to a Hall of Mirrors, like, you could get lost in here, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Dodgy Dave is definitely a character from the anime. He's like, it's a big face card. You know how they do that in the games where it's like, hey, this time we're printing Gideon in the set. Come get him. He's $40. It totally breaks standard.
I think, like, in the anime, like, his whole deal is he lures the protagonist of the anime into the Hall of Mirrors, and he, like, uses that to mislead him. It turns out, like, he's actually palming cards, but you can't tell because of all the mirrors going on.
I mean, who would lead a card game anime protagonist into some sort of, like, trap or maze and then play cards with them? It's unthinkable.
Exactly, and make use of the weird space you've lured them into in order to kind of cheat at the game. Who would do that?
Are you two employing sarcasm here?
We might just be.
Just maybe?
So, I activate Dodgy Dave's Hall of Mirrors.
I like this a lot.
So, I don't have to do any roll for this. It lasts for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I now have 3 duplicates of me.
Graves, like, stares at these duplicates, like, he has, like, a big smile on his face when he sees this, because he's just like, this is exactly the kind of dirtbag shit I love to see before I cap a motherfucker, basically. It's you're acting perfectly in line with how he views you, which is criminal cowardice. So he like smiles at you when you do this, and he just says, I understand that you hate me, but you have to realize that you hate me because you see me holding the gun, but the gun's always been there since the day you went out on your own. society has pointed a gun at you and said, work or die, earn or die, produce or die. You're just mad because now you see who has the gun.
Here's what I will say to you, Graves. I'm aware that capitalism is a screwed up philosophy that we have to live within. However, you held an actual gun at my head and pulled the trigger, so, yeah, no, my hate's at you. Capitalism I'll deal with on Wednesday.
My only comment is how many times did Graves stare at himself in a mirror, pointing a gun at the mirror, rehearsing that monologue for this very moment.
Man, I love that everyone has Graves figured so much out. Like, he is so seen by our listeners and our players. Everyone totally has him down. It's amazing. So you retort, but he sees you and he knows that he's going to waste a lot of ammo trying to figure out which one's the real you. So he turns and he shoots Lenora.
No.
19.
Oh, that hits me.
6 damage. Wow, you guys both got really lucky.
Oh, also, by the way, we did heal after our wrestling match, right?
Yeah, there are medics outside of the... Well, actually, they'd be in
Okay.
the locker room except for a blood match when they would be out in the actual arena. But
Okay, yeah, that's very good to confirm that.
Yeah, because I would have been below.
I do like the role-playing idea that you're tired from the match, but I don't think it's really fair to keep you hurt when we've established in fiction that they'll heal you. So you take 6 damage, Lenora, and it's your turn. Once again, he shoots you. I don't like every non-fatal gunshot to be just a graze. That's kind of lame. But so I like that he shoots you like in the chest, but your warlock magic cushions it reflexively, so it's like it leaves a nasty welt.
Like paintball.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one doesn't do as much damage, but let's try a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and cast Frostbite.
9.
Yes, you rolled bad. Well, it would be 10 with your +1, but oh wait, Constitution. Never mind, not Wisdom.
Yep.
Yay! I hit. So he gets real frosty
Oh no!
because I frostbit him.
Don't frost him.
And he takes 1d6 cold damage and has disadvantage on his next weapon attack roll.
Aha!
So roll that damage, but one thing you notice when you turn on the Frostbite song and hit him with some ice magic is that he has a white dragon, which has resistance to ice magic.
Oh, I thought that'd be blue. I guess that's water. Fine, he takes 1 damage.
Blue dragons are lightning. It's white and silver are ice.
Well, I'm not going to use ice magic on him then.
Yeah, but he does have disadvantage.
There actually is a lore thing, too, because it's like most of the lizards sun themselves during the day, and then at night they would burrow underground, but white and silver dragonborn were the opposite because they like the cold, and so he would, him and his ancestors would go up at night in the desert pre-city times. So I actually have thought that through.
Frank is going to try and have the bell toll for thee once again, so another wisdom save.
20!
You need to stop going after his wisdom. This
Yeah,
is
I
just...
know.
It's a
Holy
plus
shit.
one!
What is happening?
It's a +1. There's like nothing lower that I could go for.
Yeah, no, mathematically it's in your favor. It's just sometimes Roll20 is vindictive. So he's going to shoot at the mirror images. So I don't have that memorized how this works.
I roll a d20, and if it's a 6 or higher, you target one of my duplicates instead.
Okay.
Okay, so it's an 18, so you target one of my duplicates.
16.
Let's see, I believe that hits.
Yeah, you're a wizard, so.
And on hit, they are destroyed.
Yeah. Graves blows the head off one of your mirror images, and it is Lenora's turn. He's going to start whittling them down, although it is just a 6-chamber revolver, and I am keeping track.
So I'm gonna try Toll the Dead again. Give me another wisdom saving throw. I'm out of spell slots. I only had 2. And I used 1 during the match.
I just want to keep doing this because I just want one wisdom save to be bad.
Right? Finally!
There we go, 8.
8.
That's an acceptably low level of wisdom.
7. Something.
So, yeah, you wub on him, and he's like, my mind is spiked and my ears are full of the damn modern music. The kids, they don't know what's back in my day.
So loud. Wow.
Back in my day, we imagined dragons, not any of this shit.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry about who I am. Frank, it's your turn.
Okay, so Frank's going to try something that isn't wisdom save based. Is going to try and cast Firebolt, so that's D20 plus 6. 7! That's a botch!
Yep, that is a botch. Oops.
I should have stuck to the wisdom saving.
So you missed very badly with the firebolt. This is a wrestling hallway, so there's nothing flammable. That's my go-to when fire spells miss, is to start just burning things.
There could be pyros.
Sorry, we left all the pyrotechnics in the hallway. I hope nobody throws fire at it. No, he dodges out of the way, and he also gets time to start reloading his gun, which normally would have taken him a whole turn, but he's going to do it as a bonus action at the end of his turn now.
Okay.
Not great, but could be worse.
Yeah, so he's going to shoot at Frank's mirror images again.
6.
So it targets you in this case.
It does target me, yes.
16.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
12 damage.
Frank is unconscious.
All right. So you throw a very bad fireball. It actually gives away your position. He does like a SWAT roll and plugs Frank, shoots him right in the stomach, and he goes down. Lenora, what do you do?
I have to keep doing Toll the Dead. I'm out of spell slots.
Okay, so we're going to cut away to give Lauren some time to think about a thing that is not the same thing over and over. Got to be more creative.
Yeah, let me think.
All right, so bam, Frank goes down and his mirror images disappear. Lenora, Grave turns to you and starts reloading his revolver. Back in the wrestling storyline, Katarina Krakenbane and Renee Eddy, you guys go back to the locker room. You have some time before the new blood match. You enter the locker room. Everyone's like slapping you on the back. They're like, damn, good shit out there, Kat. You really nailed it. Good job, new guy.
I imagine there's some kind of like customary, like, you know, shaking the hands of your opponents or stuff like that, or just like shooting, like decompressing after like a match with some of the people you're out there with, maybe talking over some spots or things like that. And I'm going to try to see if the Desert Dragons are in the locker room by chance.
Yep, they're in the corner. They're talking to each other. So it's Argent and Aurum, which is just Latin for gold and silver, not their real names, of course. Mm-hmm. And the silver one's like, I told you have to, like this, arm lock. No, idiot, stop. Like they're clearly actually not fans of each other in real life, even though their ring personas are that they're basically inseparable. And he's like, don't you talk to me like that. I'll knock your teeth out. I don't care who sees. I don't care.
Oh, this is so true.
Real. This is real.
Yeah. All right. So, a quick question: the blood match, is that still kayfabe? As in, there's still a scripted finish, or do we have to actively fight and win? Like, I know the attacks and everything like that are real, but are we still following a script per se, or is it just whoever goes out there and forces their opponent down for a 3-count wins or whatever?
Let's say things happen in blood matches, right? So even though it is booked, it would be totally within the realm of possibility for someone to take a bad punch and go down, or to just Hulk out. And I can't use Hulk out because that's a real guy. It happens. Like it's pretty frequent that things will go sideways, which is the fun of it. That's why the audience likes blood matches, because they're unpredictable.
Okay. Then rather than go over with that, I believe Kat will probably have to have a talk with Eddie to inform him what the deal with this upcoming match is, and try to plan out a strategy for it.
So we have a chance to win it, but we are going to have to go up against 2 different teams and not just one.
Yeah, that's the plan at least. Now, we're still supposed to win, but it's a blood match, so anything can happen. Trademark.
There's no guarantee that everyone will stay on script.
Yeah, they should, but you never know when you get into a fight like that. When the punches are actually stiff, then sometimes people let anger get the best of them.
Are there any other particular rules about things that can or shouldn't be done during these types of matches?
You're still supposed to work with the confines of wrestling, so you're not supposed to just walk out there with the gun and start shooting people, but otherwise it's supposed to be, quote unquote, no disqualification. So weapons and all the things like that are not just allowed, they're encouraged.
Well, what do you plan on bringing out there with you?
Oh, I have a harpoon that's a prop usually, but I'll gut a person if I have to.
I might just bring out the daggers.
And then with that, Ed sort of pulls at the gloves on one of his hands, does a quick flick of his wrist, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a knife just sort of appears in his hand.
This shouldn't be a problem, right?
It shouldn't, but I'd advise going out and using it too quickly immediately. People have a perception of who you are right now, and I don't think knife-wielding robots one of them. I would also advise you not go after the dragons immediately or too much, because they're the hometown favorite,
Right.
and we could very quickly sour ourselves on the audience if we just start picking on them.
And if we lose the crowd's favor, we could just end up losing the match. So,
Besides, she'll hate Kill Club enough that she'll probably just want to start beating them up.
I'm excited for them. As you guys are having this conversation, the geek with the clipboard comes back and walks up to Ed and hands you a note and says, guy left this for you. And the geek walks away.
Ed goes ahead and just checks the note as he stores the knife back into what looks like the palm of his hand.
The note says, T.I., comma, you are in danger, comma, Ash is in town.
All Ed's going to say, mutter out loud, is just,
how do they find me like this? This isn't good. This isn't good at all.
But did you get a ticket or something?
You double parked?
I can explain later. For now, I suppose we should focus on the match.
Ed says he sort of takes the note, kind of folds it up and sort of, stows it away in one of his compartments. So
we have a couple of choices here. Do you guys want to get to the match? Do you want to take some time to go looking for your friends?
I was going to say, Kat might ask at some point if where Lenore was, Lenore or Frank. They do need some sort of fashion of a backup plan, I suppose, in case the worst goes wrong in this match.
Yeah, I mean, you look around, you don't see Lenore or Frank. I think you probably just asked the geek with the clipboard, and he says, I think they left.
Like, left the arena, or went home, or what?
I don't know, man. They left. They walked out of this room. This is the room I care about. As far as I'm concerned, they leave the locker room, they're dead. I have no object permanence.
I should hate you, locker room Larry, but I do appreciate your dedication to the locker room, so we're all right.
It's basically my throne room, and here I am God.
it's in the name, Locker Room Larry. It's like, it's in the name.
So you have some time. You can hear out there, like out in the ring, they're like, oh God, there's so much blood. Kill Club can't be stopped.
Oh God. They're like, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh.
The man with the paper shredder for hands.
I hope you brought ponchos for the first row, because this is a splash zone.
Oh no, that poor kid in the first row I gave my hat to.
But you have time, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I'll go out and try to look for Lenore or Frank.
All right, so how about roll survival to track them?
10. I'm not a survival expert.
Neither is Ed, but he does have at least some wisdom, which might help there. Also 10, so...
The most average it could be. So you guys are going to go peek into the hallway. You're not going to do a full exploration because you do have to be back in time for your match. But you guys are walking around just seeing if you could spot your friends. Back at the scene of the crime.
All right.
Graves shot Frank, Lenora.
Okay, so Frank's unconscious, so theoretically, if I made a spell that affects everybody in a range, it wouldn't hurt him, right? If he can't hear because he's asleep.
Okay, so there's just so many assumptions in that sentence.
I'm really reaching.
I think, tell me what you want to do.
I want to cast Thunderclap because it would make a lot of noise and attract a lot of attention. And then I can go, oh no, he shot my friend when somebody comes running because I made a giant boom. That can be heard 100 feet away.
Yeah, so Frank is on the ground. He's not actually unconscious. He's gut shot, like holding his tummy stuff inside, his delicious fruit filling. He's like, wavering on the edge of consciousness. Rather than try to talk about how a thunderclap avoids hurt people, just like say like I take 2 steps backwards.
Okay, I'm a step back so that Graves is still within my 5 feet range, and Frank is not. Constitution saving throw.
11.
Yes, I hit you. Also, there's a really loud boom within 100 that everyone can hear within 100 feet. So it's only 1d6 damage. It's thunder damage, but my main point was to get attention. I had 5 damage.
I'm just gonna say, remember, we are doing a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And the police officer is aware that we were doing that crime.
Does he have any evidence? Can he prove it? We were just in the wrestling match.
I like this, though, because Lenora is thinking of Frank first. This is really a good character moment, even if she's risking blowing y'all's cover. This is good. I like this. This is also just a D&D thing in general. Maybe not everybody's playgroup, but definitely for me, I'd always rather you make the messy decision than the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's like, okay, all right, roll to do crime. Oh, you did a good crime. And then everyone goes home. Not a great episode.
Right.
As Lenore also would think, does he have any evidence? We were just in the wrestling match. A bunch of people saw us. We're supposed to be here. Katarina will vouch for us.
I would hope so that works as a cover. Is he just for no reason shot us?
Lenora, you pump up the jams, Thunderstruck by AC/DC, probably. There's a huge thunderclap in this hallway. Graves is blasted back. His ears are ringing. He's not badly hurt, but his cover is blown. Frank, you're on the ground. You hear this huge thing, and you're like, oh, I guess that's what dying sounds like. And Graves looks to the two of you. You see the mental calculus going on. The gears are turning, and he realizes he doesn't have to kill you here. He can just stop the heist by going and telling Diego what you're up to, because he saw that in the detect thoughts. So he actually turns around and runs down the hallway to get away.
I would chase him, but I'm gonna go get a medic to help Frank. That's what Lenora would do.
That is what Lenora would do. You're just gonna leave Frank bleeding on the floor, though?
I'm gonna roll strength to try and help him up. 3.
No, actually roleplay this. You walk over and you're like, I'm gonna save you, Frank, and you grab onto his waist and get him half a centimeter off the ground. You're like, I changed my mind, Frank. I'm going to get help.
Literally. Oh, I'm sorry. I can. No, bye. I'll be back.
All right, so Katarina and Ed, you guys are peeking down the hallway looking for your friends. You don't see them. You assume they're in the middle of the heist. You're like, all right, cool. We're going to go back in and do this wrestling thing. Win, take the belt, go home, millionaires, good stuff. And you see Inspector William Graves sprinting down the hallway towards you. He has a gun out.
Like, is he pointing his gun at us?
No, he doesn't notice it's you. He's just running. It looks like he's going to run past you. I mean, he might recognize you when he gets closer, but he's just running.
What I would do is use Ray of Frost on the ground in front of where he's running to make him slip.
That's the shit. That's the shit. That's the shit. I don't even. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll dexterity for that. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 19. Okay, so he's running. You Ray of Frost the ground in front of him. He goes sliding, but does not fall. He's in mid slide now. What do you do?
Can I run and try to give him my finisher for real this time and try to knock him out that way?
Absolutely.
All right, I need a dexterity saving throw. DC 15.
That's the same roll, huh? 6.
Boosh. All right.
This is like something out of a like a 90s kids movie. The villain sliding around on the ice.
Boom! 14 damage as I just fly out from the middle of the hallway and knee him in the face.
Oh my god! Oh man, I wish that was enough to knock him out. That would be so good if he was sliding on the ice and you just did a flying knee into his fucking snout and snapped it in the other direction. Now he is not out of HP in the rules, but one of the things I do, actually we haven't talked about this since like season 2, is that not every person in the world is willing to fight to the death at a moment's notice at the drop of a hat. So it is a thing when I DM that people can be out of fights with HP remaining, because sometimes that's how fights are, right? It's not always to unconsciousness or death. So what happens is he's running down the hallway. All he has to do is talk to Diego, and you guys lose the heist. Ed shoots ice under the floor. He goes sliding, and Katarina does a flying knee into his mouth. It snaps in the other direction, and he goes down. Not unconscious, but his gun goes flying and he grabs his face and he has another compound fracture. He's still conscious, but he has lost the will to fight because of role-playing reasons.
Can I scramble for his gun?
Absolutely. He's at no condition.
Yeah, I want to take the gun and I want to hide it.
Ed might suggest hiding it inside of him, but then again, that would be really bad if it gets found out, though.
Ed should hide it because Ed doesn't have fingerprints, probably.
Ed was just going to use Mage Hand to pick it up and put it in one of his compartments.
I don't know what I just don't know what Graves is doing right now. Is he just like crawling away like, I hate my life today?
Yeah, I mean, how would you react if your nose got broken for the second time in a week, right? He's on the ground, he is in exquisite agony. He's grasping his face, but he's swearing up a storm through the blood. He's saying just the worst tabaxi slurs you've ever heard.
Banish him to the shady place.
I want to give him like one of those like 2-finger salutes and just say like, "Nice to see you again, officer."
Nice. So you guys take his gun and go back into the locker room?
Somebody give him finger guns.
Yeah, finger guns.
Ed puts the gun away in one of his compartments using Mage Hand to make sure his fingerprints don't get on it. And then I guess they go back to the locker room.
All right. You get there. Lenora's talking to a medic.
Hey, guys, Frank is dying.
What?
I got shot.
Do we get Frank back? Is he there? I'm guessing he's there. He's talking.
I'm shot.
He got shot.
It's not fun.
I'm not sure if that's Frank's dying voice or just his regular voice, since they're so
Yeah, we fast forward some time. So it's a busy locker room. There's people are coming and going. They bring Frank in on a stretcher.
They shot him. Look.
Guns are not wrestling moves.
I saved the day.
Yeah, you did. You saved Frank's life.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, you did a good job. Did a good job, and then I'll do like the anime head pat thing, like a hair ruffle move.
Oh no, Senpai noticed me.
I am suddenly less excited about our group's chosen vocation.
Anime was a mistake.
Honestly, I'm not as surprised as I should be, but
Yeah, we were just hanging out, and then all of a sudden we got attacked.
we probably shouldn't talk about this too much out here, though.
All I wanted to do was wrestling. That is our chosen vocation, and he shot me for no reason.
Why?
I'm pretty sure it says in the wrestling book you can't use a gun.
How much time do we have until the next match begins? Do we have a few minutes?
Yeah, sure. For something you want to do.
Now that this is sort of kind of calmed down, Ed is going to pull Katarina aside and talk to her about something in private.
Okay, I didn't want to bring this up sooner, but remember when we talked about finding someone to offload the gear with?
Yeah. What about it?
I tried getting in touch with someone anonymously, and this is what I got back.
And then Ed kind of pulls out the note and shows it to Katarina.
Are these like code names or something? I don't know who T.I. is or Ash.
T.I. was an alias I was using for myself. Ash is a person that I know and knows me. And if they're in town, then that's bad news for me and anyone else.
So I'm guessing it's not a friend of yours kind of thing.
Might have been a friend of mine once, but I'm pretty sure up until recently they probably thought I was dead.
All right. So what do you want to do about it?
For now, let's just finish this job as well as we can. We're kind of already in it. But afterwards, I might need to start thinking of ways to lay lower.
You could dig a hole.
We're already underground, so digging deeper may not be the best idea, but
Yeah, it's an idea to start with at least.
I wanted to share this with you because, well, I understand the hesitation in getting involved in this. I just hope it doesn't go as far south as I've seen it in the past.
Well, we'll know what happens till it gets there. Until then, I'm doing everything I can to keep my shit out of my shit, if that makes sense.
Absolutely not. Anyway, as you guys are having this conversation, you can hear Sea Shanty's theme music kick on in the arena, and you hear Diego say, "Waves may break, but Sea Shanty never will." And he's like giving you guys introduction. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, time to do it.
All right. So you guys are edge of the ring. You see that the desert dragons are already out there. You guys were caught up in your conversation about the mysterious Ash who has come to town, so you missed that part. So they're waiting for you. They roll their eyes when they see you. I'm not sure what your we haven't really developed what your out of ring relationship is like with these two, but they just seem like kind of unpleasant in general.
Well, it's worth establishing, too, that Katarina's flaw is that at least everybody has one story of her mooching off of them. So for some people, it might be a very playful thing or just like, yeah, one time came over and just like ate all the food in my fridge. Some people might just absolutely hate her and just begrudgingly have respect for her in the ring because she may have screwed people over in the past with some of these things too. That's a very real possibility. So the more easily sort of annoyed person might just despise her.
I also like to imagine that the more like power and influence someone has, the more Katarina would be likely to try to mooch off them. So the most popular faces in the Valentine Wrestling Federation are probably prime mooching targets, huh?
Oh, almost certainly.
All right, so you two teams have entered already for the blood match 3-way. When of course you guys hear wanted in 4 planes for murder and mayhem. Here comes a challenger not even the abyss could hold. Blood Maw, the Invincible. And coming down the ramp is a demon.
Ooh.
An actual from the bad place demon. The specific kind of demon is a Barlgura. I didn't name these. Blame
Gygax.
Yeah, Gygax did it. The Barlgura is basically like a huge demonic ape. There really isn't much more. He didn't put a lot of stank on that ball. It's basically an evil ape. So that's what's coming. I mean, it's like 8-10 feet tall. It's like the size of Diego. Bloodmaw the Invincible has actually wrestled in the big leagues before. Didn't quite cut it. Doesn't have the charisma. Just has a lot of presence and size, intimidation factor. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's all that and not so much finesse.
So he's Nathan Jones. He's a really tall, big guy who just couldn't cut it and got scared on a plane ride.
Take that, Nathan.
Take that, Nathan Jones. Convicted felon.
Damn, there's so much wrestling lore. So Bloodmaw the Invincible enters the ring, and coming up next is his partner. Legends tell of a wild and forgotten mountain where all travelers have met a grisly fate. The mind can hardly imagine such a gruesome end, but now you'll get to see it in person. The next combatant is Wendy Wendigo.
Ooh.
And a Yeti comes out. Yetis, I was delighted to find out, are in the standard monster manual.
They sure are.
And they speak a language called Yeti. So that's fun. This is a female Yeti, who not a Wendigo, but that is her ring persona, which is a cannibalistic monster. This is just a person, a huge, fuzzy, round, white-furred person with like little horns and kind of sharp teeth. But you guys know from their backstage personality, Wendy, that is her real name, is a vegan. She's pretty cool. She's like into yoga and like Tai Chi and stuff. But she comes out and she has like stage blood all over her, and she's like roaring and yelling stuff in Yeti. And it's like, but she's actually just saying like, she's actually just giving like a brownie recipe. But it sounds scary to everyone in the audience, and so they're all freaked out by it. And she like jumps over the ropes in one big bound and lands next to her partner. And Diego's like, I don't know how anyone's going to stand up to Kill Club, even 2-on-1. This team is unstoppable.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
I like that. That one was in character. Frank's in the locker room holding his intestines in.
Like, I'm pretty sure my mind is falling out my stomach. I'm losing it.
So you guys talked in the locker room about your strategy, which is not to pick on the Desert Dragons, and I like that. So let's roll initiative. I'm not going to play the Desert Dragons for now because they are going to be fighting. I'm going to say they're going to be fighting Bloodmaw the Invincible because he feels more intimidating. You guys will start 2-on-1 against Wendy Wendigo.
I rolled a 5 natural 1 for the initiative.
Oopsie noodle.
I'm a 16. It should be 16 instead of 17.
All right, 19. Wendy wins. So the match is going to start. Actually, the bell hasn't rung yet. Wendy runs over and grabs it and spikes it like a football. She like rips it off the mooring and it's like, and she just says like, all right, everybody, let's have fun out there. And she's gonna run over. She like runs on her like knuckles to make it like really animalistic. Not, of course, her natural gait, but here we go. Mm-hmm. She's going to try to basically just bum rush Katarina. Crit. She runs not only over you, but into the ropes, bounces off, and then runs into Ed. So you guys are both gonna take this damage because a crit. So you both take 7 damage from Wendy's opening assault. She is just a deadly fuzzy cannonball.
Aw.
Okay.
And it looks like that is Katarina's turn. Now this is just real combat now. We in it, boys.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a rage, which I imagine is basically like kick flipping up after getting knocked down and just start like primally screaming to get into this. And I am just gonna start trying to lay into her. So it's going to be 2 attacks, one with the harpoon and then one with just a fist. So the first one is a 14.
That hits.
And the second one is also a 14.
Both hit. She's just wearing trunks, basically, and they're actually like the same color as her fur because they're trying to play up like she's just a wild animal. She basically looks naked. She's not, but she's not. She does not have armor.
So 7, and then another 7 damage. I rolled 1 on both the damage dice, but it's still 14 damage total.
Yeah, not bad at all. You start whooping her with the harpoon. It looks like pretty bad. Like you're smashing her with this. That's the funny thing about her ring persona versus her actual thing is she's not like an actual great street fighter, right? She's just a performer. So you actually start whipping this Yeti's ass. Ed, it's your turn.
Yeah, Ed is going to heed Katarina's advice and not pull out the knives quite yet. So he's just going to try to lead in just sort of with a flying kick at Wendy's side to try to land a solid hit to start things off. 18 on the attack roll.
Hits.
That'll be just 6 damage on that then.
All right, you did 20 damage in your first turn. Pretty sweet. Wendy is getting whooped on from both sides, and she's going to try to do a strength check to grapple Katarina because you're doing more damage. So she's going to try to lock you up. Strength contest. 22.
I cannot even beat that, even with the crit. I got a 14.
All right, so she basically bear hugs your arms to your side. That is her turn. In the background, you see Blood Maw the Invincible, the actual literal demon, has picked up one of the desert dragons in each hand and is just slamming them together.
Oh, like a kid playing with his toys. It's like,
Yeah, absolutely. And you can hear them quietly bickering. They're like, no, get off me. Just it's right there. Hit the thumb. Stop it. And they're just like yelling at each other as they get like meat pulped into each other. It's very good. But Katarina, it's your turn. You're in a bear hug.
Can I just use my attacks to headbutt her in the face?
Of course. Yes, that's very good.
All right, so I'm just going to try to headbutt her in the face twice. So 18 and 17.
Both hit.
That is 22 damage.
Holy snaps. All right, actually, whew, wow, maybe I should have given her more health, huh? She bear hugs you. You look down at her. Do you say anything?
I'm just going to say, sorry about this, and just start boom.
Yeah, you headbutt her face, and
But can I say I headbutt her and catch like part of her teeth at one point, so I like get a gash in the forehead and start bleeding?
oh, cool, yeah.
I want this to be a brutal match from the start.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks brutal because it is brutal, right? So
Yeah.
not only do you cut your forehead on her sharp teeth, but I think you hear something like crunch, like in her cheek region. Like you give her quite a face full of your noggin, and she falls down, like, because I only gave her 40 health and you did 42 damage. So yeah, you knock her like out cold with your face.
I'm going to land on the ground, one arm in the air, sail on!
And the crowd shouts it back to you. You see the kid in the front row. He's absolutely life-changingly enchanted by your personal attention.
He's loving it. Sweet.
And meanwhile, Blood Maw the Invincible gets bored of the desert dragons and just tosses them into the stands. Just overhand, just throws them out of the ring, and then goes flying into the crowd. And Diego's like, I gotta be honest, I saw that coming. He is a literal demon. I don't know why we don't have rules against this.
All right, who is he going to attack between the two of us now?
I think we need to roll new initiative. This is basically a second fight.
I got a 7.
I got an 11.
And I got a 22.
All right, Ed, you're facing down a huge demon it's just barrel-chested, all teeth and sinew and hate.
Ed is going to point at the demon and sort of shout,
Hey, that's no way to treat the hometown favorite. I think it's time for us to cut in. And he sort of flicks out.
and he sort of flicks out his wrist, and then like the knife kind of pops out in his hand, and he's holding it sort of in a stylish sort of pose. But he doesn't kind of rush in quite yet. He's just sort of more posturing for the crowd first and foremost.
Nice. All right, so Sea Shanty charges into battle against the last member of Kill Club for the title, for the belt. And we will conclude that next episode. But meanwhile, Frank and Lenora, you guys are in the locker room. Frank, you're conscious. You have 1 HP. I mean, it's probably painful to move, but you can if you want to. Lenora is sitting by you. How are you guys?
So, Lenora, crime's still fun, right?
I think so, but I didn't really get shot, so I can't really speak
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to what's his face, I forget, yeah, I thought his whole speech before about he's not allowed to mess with us, I thought that still counted in here. It's not my brightest moment.
I mean, we shouldn't have split up.
It's fine. However, I have a list growing of people whose asses I'm gonna kick, so are you up for helping me kick some asses on the ass kick list?
Oh, I am 100% always for kicking asses.
There's Greaves, and there's also this cuck that plays card games.
What's a cuck?
Fuck.
I feel like that has to be the end of the episode now.
Hello, Lauren.
Hey, Austin.
Are you excited to read credits?
I love reading the credits. It's my all-time favorite pastime.
Even more than petting cats?
No.
Well, then you lied. You just lied to all the listeners.
Well, I forgot about petting cats, I guess.
Oh, always be petting.
They're so soft. Bellies, and they attack. It's a weird thing.
It is. I have a lot of music credits this month because we had a wrestling arc and entrance music is a necessary element. So I'm going to do this right now. We have our normal intro music, New Jack Mantle, an arrangement of The Mantle from Nights into Dreams. We have music of Funk, an arrangement of Stage 1 Gotham City from Batman. We have Linear Groove, an arrangement of A-Type and B-Type from Tetris, as well as, and here we go, Geofractura, an arrangement of Fracture Zone from Echo the Dolphin. Spaghetti Cowboy, an arrangement of Stage 1 background music from Gunsmoke. The Clock Tower, an arrangement of Interruption from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Funky Bukas, an arrangement of Bizarre from Earthbound. And Madcap Magma, an arrangement of Hothead Bop from Donkey Kong Country 2.
You named them all.
I did that. Now it's your turn to name some stuff.
Okay. Here are the producers. That's what they do, right? That's what it is?
Yeah, executive producers for the month of January 2018 are...
Oh, God, it's a new year.
Oops.
We just continue moving forward.
Inexorable.
Okay, I'm going to start reading names. Are we going back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ex Doluris.
Kerstin Haslinger.
Joseph Tombrello.
Jade.
Brent.
The Cult of Orphanax.
Paul Mullen.
Dr. Goatman.
Tushiro Kuro.
Andrew Grothin.
Levi the Young.
Kevin Dobbins.
Anthony Sever.
Morgan Rapp.
Madison Lilith McKenzie.
Notorious Stoltz.
Victoria Melito.
Scotty Vilhard.
Aline.
Brickfire.
Marble Toast.
Criterion.
Ren.
Einar Johansson.
Carter Rayner.
Major Tem.
Matthew B. Hare.
Shorgan Indie Monster Winwick Ford.
Josie G. Gazay.
Razumi Yazura.
Albert West.
Jason.
Ken Firstel.
Eleanor No Nante Sees Periton.
Scott Cummings.
That was a pause you did there. Starlight Glimmer did nothing wrong.
Jew Man Jack.
Mel Tish.
Arjun de Koenig.
Grimlock.
John Potts.
Dawson Parr.
Noah Sudret.
Ziphosaurus.
Elderly Goose.
Salad Child.
Seraph Stone.
Thorsten Gross.
Devin Smith.
Caster UK.
Aki Savalainen.
The Paladin's Wife.
Florian H.
Amanda Linetti.
Junk 2.0.
Rebecca Hadsel.
Dominic Bowden.
Melissa Nielsen.
Dawn.
Eugene T.
Connor Reynolds.
Britt Holcomb.
Artemis BJJ. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in Bristol. Gosh.
Francois V.
Shanus.
Dennis Pancake Detlefson.
Miko Kiriokongas.
Dennis Bankston.
Josh Moger. Moger? I tried.
Indigo Van Dane.
Allison Ansel.
Sydney Marsing.
Just a Jester.
Savarden Akrasimova.
Brady Warner.
Kitty Foe.
James Neely.
Marissa Donaldson.
M. Joe.
Lana Seawolf.
Toby Gleason Stack.
Matthew Weber.
Sarah Hanley.
Melissa Booker.
Cameron Abbas.
Dylan.
Anna Stulfar.
Sean, the host of Funk Dunk Plays.
Harrison Andrew.
Kevin Seidlow.
Christopher Charlow.
Jorrit.
Vigar Arnston.
Cody Jackson.
August Rue.
Luke Powers.
Hedron Master.
Irwin Layla Godek.
You tried.
Aw.
That was pretty good. Michael Hall.
Ingmar Gremmin.
Oh, a big list. A big list this month.
Thankfully, blessed.
Thanks, my dudes.
Prayer hand emoji. We also have to thank Johnny Maloney.
Oh, for his special guest poetry slam.
Yes, all rights reserved for all his good poetry and work.
Thank you, Johnny.
I would have as many players as possible on the show if it were feasible. We can't add anymore, but we do love Johnny, so we try to get him involved. I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, if we had any more, I think you would literally die.
What else do we say during this part? Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube.
A sneeze.
A sneeze, yeah. So subscribing and commenting and rating,
And
doing all
sneezing.
those things. Sneezing, you gotta sneeze. Just let it out.
Patreon. For you and Chris. Weekly manga recap and Austin Yorsky. I know things.
You do know things. And of course, Laura is at kotaku.co.uk. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word. Kotaku.
Kotaku?
Yeah.
You do have a hard time. Or she's Laura K. Buzz.
Everywhere.
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 And Skitch is Michael Skitchiano. And what's his Bandcamp?
Is sketch.bandcamp.com, is it not?
I believe so.
It'd be embarrassing if we were wrong.
Oh god, I hope not. I'm sorry, Skitch.
Special thanks to your cats who are guest stars this season. Do you want to give them a shout out?
There's Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
who is weird.
Awesome.
And there's Anna, who is a fucking dumbass. Who likes bread. She will steal bread. Nobody's bread is safe.